Take 9.
I want your take, Jerry, before I start making unpleasant assumptions.
All right. First thing, shape and thickness matter more than size alone. In Costa Rica, you've got large, ground-nesting birds that could surprise you. Great curassow, the crested guan, even jabiru storks near waterways.
The shell's pale, slightly porous, not heavily calcified. Doesn't scream stork to me. I've spent enough time around birds to know when an egg doesn't fit its landscape. In Kenya, we used to track nests by shell fragments alone. Ostrich, vulture. You learn the difference fast. Thickness, curvature, how the shell breaks. Stork eggs fracture chunky, uneven, like broken crockery. This is cleaner, lighter.
Then let's widen the net to reptiles. Iguana and basilisk eggs are leathery, usually collapse rather than fracture, so probably not that.
This is not a reptile egg. This is not a bird egg. You know damn well what this egg is. Beating around the bush.
Crocodilians lay much thicker shells. Snakes lay clusters, soft-shelled. If it's shattered cleanly, that rules out most native reptiles.
That's exactly the issue. It doesn't fit neatly anywhere, which means it doesn't belong on the list altogether.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but yes, we have to consider park animals. Now, that doesn't automatically make it a viable egg. Many species will lay eggs under stress, hormonal imbalance, or the absence of mating.
You're saying one of our animals could have laid it without being pregnant?
Correct.
Well, yeah.
Birds do it all the time. Domestic hens lay infertile eggs constantly. Even some reptiles will ovulate and deposit eggs that were never fertilized.
And dinosaurs?
In captivity, cycles get confused. Light, diet, enclosure, stress, it all interferes with the reproductive process. There's no reason that our dinosaurs wouldn't share this behavior with modern-day birds. If a female is cycling and there's no successful mating, an infertile egg is absolutely possible. It would explain why there's no embryonic material.
Well, the shell is dry. That still leaves the question of how it got into the drain.
Drain systems are collection points. Water carries debris, Muldoon.
You get what's causing me to be concerned, don't you, Jerry?
Muldoon, even if this is the work of one of our animals, it doesn't prove reproduction. Remember, Muldoon, they're all female. I've seen the Maiasaura produce membranous sacs from their cloaca, which implies egg-laying behavior in the absence of males. Should their diets be higher in calcium, these membranous sacs would be converted to infertile calcified eggshells. Yet there are no babies inside them.
All right.
This is a very smart series. A lot of the stuff that I've watched over the years on YouTube is very run-of-the-mill standard Jurassic Park fanfare. This is frighteningly thorough.
Then I'll log it as incidental.
I think that's the most informed call to make here, Muldoon.
Understood. Ending the concern here. Just give her some time. The container's been sitting here for 20 minutes now. Doors unlocked and wide open. Hydraulics disengaged, everything as it should be. Sometimes they step out immediately, sometimes they don't. Animals that come from Site B tend to take their time, since the ground smells unfamiliar to them. This one's no different. Drizzle's settled in. Of course, it has to rain on the day of the transfer. Good weather for keeping things calm. Bad weather for moving anything that weighs several tons. This animal came over from Sauna, a subadult, old enough to be wary, young enough to still adapt if we don't rush it. The paddock's been cleared to give her space. The other three are held back for now. Acclimatization with herd animals isn't about introductions. It's about absence, letting the land speak first, letting her learn where the ground dips, where the fences hum, where the wind carries sound. Weather complicates everything. Wet air carries scent farther, mud holds tracks longer. Every step she takes out there will leave a record for the others to read later. That can help, or it can set the tone wrong if she panics. This is always the longest part, waiting, watching a metal box in the rain, listening to the animal breathe.
But
You start thinking about what happens if she bolts, or refuses to move, or decides the container is safer than the paddock.
what species is it? Her breathing sounds way too big for a raptor.
Subadults are the hardest. Too big to manhandle, too young to have settled instincts.
The waiting.
There.
Oh,
She's approaching, sniffing now.
gonna be
She's testing the
Triceratops?
threshold, smelling the
Another
rain,
T-Rex?
feeling the vibration of the fence. She doesn't know the others aren't here yet. All she knows is that the world outside the box is larger than the one she's been in.
What's it gonna be?
Finally, she's trusted. Here she comes.
Stegosaurus!
Beautiful animal.
Wow.
She's picking up speed. Stegosaur, subadult, not fully grown, but already carrying the weight and armor she'll rely on for the rest of her life. Stegosaurs don't forget first impressions. They're slow, but they're not stupid. A bad start echoes for months, though. Look at that thagomizer. No rush, no
Careful.
panic. Just careful, deliberate movement through the corridor. If she keeps this pace and attitude, acclimatization will hopefully go smoothly. There's a quiet dignity to her that never gets old. No roar, no display, no need to announce herself. She carries all that weight and armor like it's simply part of the weather.
I just realized this is in 16:9. When did the aspect ratio change? Wasn't the first few that we watched 4 by what is it? 4:3, 4 by something? 4 by something. I don't remember the aspect ratios, but the fact that he's recording this on a camcorder to VHS or maybe beta, probably VHS, I'd assume, in 91. It wouldn't be widescreen like this, but I'll overlook it. I don't really care. Maybe they had screen cameras back then and I just am ignorant. I don't know.
Like she's always belonged wherever she happens to be standing. People underestimate animals like this because they're slow, because they don't bare teeth or chase you down. She's investigating her surroundings now, taking everything in, every new plant, every new log, every new tree, every new smell. She's mapping her vicinity. Animals do that instinctively long before they ever relax. They build a mental boundary.
I also didn't realize that the subtitles were being cut off in these videos. That's my bad. I apologize. I'm just going to go ahead and remove them. You should be able to clearly hear what he's saying. And I think YouTube does automated, does like an auto-generated caption for the hearing impaired. I hope I'm not being an asshole.
Boundary first. Learn where safety might be found, where escape routes exist, where the ground feels firm underfoot, and where it doesn't. Comfort comes later. Familiarity always comes first. You can rush a crate opening, rush an introduction, rush a feeding schedule, but you can't rush that internal map. If an animal doesn't understand its space, it never truly settles in. That's when you get stress behaviors, bad decisions, injuries that look like accidents but aren't. Out here, The rain, the smell of wet grass, the muted light, all of it helps, softens the edges, makes the world feel less exposed while she takes her bearings. I saw the same thing years ago in Africa after we relocated a leopard that had started ranging too close to livestock. First night out of his crate, he didn't go far, just paced about, touched trees, rubbed his face against bark, listened more than he moved. People expected him to vanish into the bush immediately, but he stayed within a few hundred meters until he understood the land. Once he did, he was gone by morning and we never had another report. That wasn't fear, that was intelligence. So we need to give her time. Let her decide when this place becomes hers. No other stegosaurs in the paddock yet. They're in their holding pen, so no pressure, no competition, just space, rain, and quiet. When she finally stops scanning and starts grazing without lifting her head every few minutes, that's when I'll know she's settled and we can begin the first steps of incorporating her into the herd. Until then, the best thing we can do is wait. She was transferred here from Sauna to replace the steg that died earlier this month. Hammond is adamant that he wants a minimum of 4 stegosaurs in the park.
Why 4?
Night changes the rules. Everything's quieter, slower, more honest. Stegosaurs are less reactive in the dark, less posturing, less defensive movement. So this is the safest window to introduce her. They rely on proximity and vibration more than sight now, which keeps things deliberate instead of explosive. See how the matriarch there on the right positions herself? She doesn't approach directly. She angles her body, presents her flank, lets the subadult read her size without forcing a challenge.
Or we have to watch in the
That
lightning
tail swing
flashes.
isn't a threat. It's a boundary. She's saying, this is my space, but you're allowed near it. The others follow her lead automatically. Herd animals don't vote. They watch the one who decides. The subadult doing the right thing, head low, plates angled back slightly, matching pace instead of advancing. No vocalization, no sudden turns. That's submission without weakness. She's acknowledging hierarchy while signaling she's not a liability. If she were to rush or freeze, this would go very differently. Confidence tempered by caution, that's what gets you accepted.
It's so intricate, the behavior of herd animals. Well, intricate yet simple.
Now the matriarch closes the distance, one slow step, then another. A brief touch along the flank. That's the moment. Physical contact without retaliation. From here on, the herd recognizes her scent as part of the group. Tomorrow, she'll graze at the edges. Tonight, she stands near the center. Integration isn't instant, but acceptance is. And once a stegosaur is accepted into a herd, it's for life, unless something goes very wrong. That's the stability we build everything else on.
Cool.
She has no hesitation tonight. That tells me the separation's doing its job. Juveniles here, adult stays in the holding paddock. They just don't get along, and she's growing fast, so they're becoming too close in size now, too much competition. You keep them together and one ends up testing the other, and with animals like this, a test turns lethal fast.
That's consistent with what we see in predators. Once the juvenile starts closing the size gap, tolerance disappears. It's not aggression so much as inevitability. Two apex predators don't share space unless one is clearly subordinate. And she's definitely past that phase. She's growing quickly.
The lysine supplement's gone in an instant. Still feels harsh, starving an animal just enough to make it take a tablet. I don't like conditioning predators to associate hunger with us intervening.
I don't either, but the alternative is worse.
trust the scientists to come up with some twisted method of growth control, like inhibiting the animals from synthesizing an amino acid.
Just to be clear, Robert, the dinosaurs are incapable of producing lysine. Any carnivore on a protein-rich diet should synthesize enough on his own. What InGen did was alter the metabolic pathway. The enzymes still work, but only with our lysine.
So it's not a deficiency, it's a dependency.
Exactly. The animals can make lysine from their feed, but not the kind they need in sufficient quantity. Their enzymes are optimized, patented really, for the synthetic variant administered in those tablets. Without it, metabolism slows, growth falters, neurological function degrades.
A leash you don't have to hold.
That's one way to put it.
That's sick.
From
It is very
a
sick.
veterinary standpoint, it's elegant. From an ethical one, less so. But
Yeah.
it ensures containment without visible force. Even if an animal got off the island, it wouldn't stay viable for long.
There she is.
Watching her eat, you'd never know any of that. Looks healthy, alert, dangerous. Hard to reconcile that with the idea that she's only functioning because we allow it.
Most systems work that way, Robert. The illusion of independence supported by something hidden underneath. Remember, you work at a glorified zoo after all.
Still doesn't sit right, especially knowing the adults out there smelling her through the fence. Two animals, same species, same instincts, one thriving, one frustrated, and both reliant on a chemical we designed. That's not nature, Jerry. That's management.
And management is the only reason any of this can exist, Robert.
For now.
For now.
Muldoon, are you there?
Yes, Ray.
I need you to head to the raptor enclosure immediately.
What's
Oh
going on?
no.
It's the big one. She's convulsing.
Well, that's terrifying. Do you think she's doing it as a trick, or do you think she's really in trouble? I might go ahead and record 2 of these in one day just so I can find out. All right, I didn't really get to talk much during this, but this was still exciting. All right, see you guys in the next one.